any wargame, anytime. Hey folks, and welcome to the Any Wargame Anytime podcast. It's very nice to be back. We've had a bit of a hiatus over the holiday period and the start of the year. I'm Buzz. I'm joined today by Daniel and Sam. How you guys doing?
I am doing great. It is good to be back. We had some non-gamer stuff to take care of, unfortunately, but we are good to be back. Well, I'm good to be back. Happy to be back. I don't know about Sam. I'll let him speak for himself.
Me too. Had a nice, relaxing holiday break, and now the world has restarted, and like as the year has come anew, the grind continues, and we're back in the swing of things.
Yeah, it's certainly been a bit of a grind so far. I've been sick a handful of times already. Winter has been getting the best of me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I had a horrible winter cold a couple like a month ago, a month and a half ago, and it just like had this lingering god awful cough that lasted for weeks and weeks. So, but now
So,
I'm here, and my you can all hear my lovely voice again.
well, there you go. All's well that ends well then. So today, what we're going to do, because it's been a couple of months and it's a new year and everything, we're each just going to take a bit of time and talk about a couple of the things that each of us are kind of doing gaming wise at the moment, kind of what our focuses are moving into the new year, and a bit of what each of us kind of want before the podcast as well. So I'll pass it on to Dan. You can start us off.
Hey, yeah. It was a horrible time for us to take the hiatus as Warhammer the Old World, sort of as Sam has called in the past, the 600-pound gorilla dropped. A lot has been going on with that we've been following. And I'm definitely, me and Sam rank and flank is our jive. So I think that we're definitely going to be interested in looking at some old world. But also, looking at some of the old world contenders. I know I just picked up the Oathmark book. I want to check that out as a rank and flank option. Age of Fantasy regiments for OPR. I'd love to continue to sort of streamline that. I think that could be a good alternative. Kings of War, we'll see what they do and see if they can get their act together and um, actually compete for some of these old world people instead of making dwarves flying on ravens that poop. So yeah, but there's also, I also started getting interested into Epic 40K. Still have some OPR Grimdark going. So yeah, man, there's so much going on. I'm excited. I'm excited. Um, yeah, that's about it for me.
What about you, Sam? What are you excited to be kind of working on this year, and what's been going on for you gaming wise?
Oh boy. Well, obviously, as Dan said, with the dropping of the old world, I mean, we are now kind of as miniature war gamers, especially in the kind of fantasy side of things. That is the thing that we're going to have to contend with now. Is it going to be good? Probably not. Is it going to be good enough? You never know. Is it going to attract new players to the hobby? Probably Warhammer and Games Workshop, of course, their big advantage has always been their exposure. Um, their exposure is 100 times what any other miniature gaming company has, almost incomparably more. And we'll have to see where that goes. And but as it goes, I think that as when we started the podcast, we're not going to be like exclusive to any one game or stuff. So we want to try out lots of different things. I'm sure we'll try that out and give y'all all our thoughts on that. And but also like Dan said, continue with some of the more obscure things and give them a try. One of the things that I really want to focus on in the new year with the podcast is playing some kind of more off the beaten path systems, like Dan mentioned Oathmark. I also want to do Conquest, and I'd like to even do Mersha's like I think Darklands, I think it's called. Um, give some of them a try and just see what they're like, so we can kind of say what we like and don't like about them. And that sounds like a fun thing to me. But yeah, I mean, happy to be back to talking with everybody. It
In
has been a nice break, a relaxing break, but I'm welcoming being back.
back in the hot seat, as it were.
Yes.
So I've been playing lots of OPR in person, which is really cool. I've actually found a local group to play Grim Dark Future in person with. So I've been doing a lot of that. I've been following the releases. I've been following the new rules version that's just come out. I have definite thoughts and feelings about a lot of the stuff that's changed, and we're going to keep diving into things like that. It's been announced that those rules updates are going to be coming out every 3 months, so you can definitely expect that we'll stay on top of those and give you our take on it. Because we are any war game anytime, and OPR happens to be one of our favorites, so that's going to get that's going to get a proportion of the airtime just by stint of that alone. Otherwise, like Dan, I have caught the 6 millimeter bug, and
Yeah.
in the last kind of week or so, I have amassed uh, about 30 gigabytes of STLs for various epic armies, orcs, space marines, Imperial Guard. I've got some Eldar, I've got some Chaos.
I haven't
Uh,
quite been convinced yet myself, but I'm bracing for the inevitable when I'm going to be out there seeing Dan play it, and I'm going to like, ugh, now I'm going to have to get a bunch of 6 millimeter stuff.
well, think of
But
how easy to paint they are.
uh, I have so many unpainted miniatures as it is. It's like I really don't want to have another project, but I don't oftentimes get what I want when it comes to miniatures.
And the correct amount of projects on the go is always X plus one, where X is your current number of projects.
That's
Well,
good. I
It
like
is
that.
a mathematical certainty.
well,
So,
I know, yeah, for us, yeah, they've got this group that I don't like. It's really nice that they already have their armies. They meet up once a month. I'm going to be trying to go to some of them, and I love that I'll be able to get my first few games in. Just they're just going to have these awesome old school 30-year-old epic
that
models.
makes me very jealous.
Oh, that I watched as a kid because Epic for me, I never played it, but it was one of the first games I came into my like as a 13-year-old's in the gaming store, and I saw them play Epic, and it was the coolest thing ever. So really looking forward to playing a game that I've actually wanted to play for 30 plus years. So we'll definitely be talking about
Yeah, and one of the things that draws me to it is that it has been it was dropped by Games Workshop. They're kind of, relaunching it as, Legions, Imperialis as 8 mil, whatever. I have thoughts about why they chose to go to 8 mil as well, whatever. But I really like that it was something that was kept alive by the fans, much like Blood Bowl before its re-release. And a few other things I've been playing as well. I've been really getting into prehistoric wargaming. There's a couple of different games that I've been playing. I've been playing Prehistoric Settlement, I've been playing Prime Evo, and I've been playing a bit of Flint Wars. And they're three quite different takes on the prehistoric war game, and they're really quite interesting. Like Prehistoric Settlement is a full kind of Age of Empires-esque type thing where you take
that.
your tribe from just a few people and a leader with some foragers, and you build it up and you discover new things and new technologies, and you kind of end up getting out of the Stone Age. Like you are playing against another person at the other end of the table, but you might go the whole game without actually encountering them. Or you might be friends when you encounter them, or it might be all out war. Like no two games are guaranteed to be battle games as such. It's more surviving against the elements, surviving against the animals that you're trying to hunt because they'll mess you up. So I've
Hmm.
been really getting into that lately. So that'll be fun to kind of talk about and maybe try and bring on some of these creators. I've also still been playing a lot of Black Seas, which is an Age of Sail war game set in the Napoleonic Wars era. And
We've got
yeah,
some sales, yeah, in my gaming group. We actually, I've seen them play, and it's so cool to see that set up.
yeah,
Like, and that's,
That's another
you
one that
know,
I'd really love to learn how to do because naval combat is just so like so cool. It's just inherently
it
cinematic, even
is. It
you
really
know.
is.
well, yeah, for me, as much as we rag on James Workshop, I think because the other big thing, Henry Cavill, this man is going to be bringing wargaming to really the forefront of the world. And
Yeah,
I am
Yeah,
like I said, I have opinions about 40K and Games Workshop, but I think that there's just such opportunity this year to bring in, and we're really in like a renaissance of like there's so many great games, and like I
well,
wish I
well,
I wish I didn't have a job and no responsibilities, and all I could do is play all day. But I try my best to fit it in as much as possible, and
yeah.
this is gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
terrific.
If
well,
one of our
well,
listeners would like to sponsor us for $50,000 a month so we can quit our jobs and do this full time, please get in touch.
just send us your info in the in a comment, and
Yeah.
we'll hit you up. But everybody needs that eccentric billionaire who patron, right? I mean that's
Yeah.
what we're all dreaming about, right?
That's the dream.
I mean when I say this is like when I say Games Workshop has incomparably more exposure than any other war game, right? I mean they're about to have a series starring Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, what other uh, intellectual property is anywhere close to that?
And that's the thing. Games Workshop is a gateway drug to miniatures wargaming. And as that role, it does a really good job. It's big and shiny. There are shop fronts, physical shop fronts everywhere that have enthusiastic appearing staff anyway. And they're really good at selling their product. And you've got things like that episode of South Park where they're playing Warhammer. Like if you've made it onto an episode of South Park, you're hitting the mainstream. And once whatever Henry Cavill ends up doing gets announced or even gets teased to be announced, you're going to find more and more people getting into the hobby, and a fair proportion of them are going to stay, and a fair proportion are going to discover that there's more than the Warhammer universe. There's more than the old world and 40K. And where can we
Well,
go from there?
and you got to appreciate that this guy is a fan. And the thing that, look, whatever we want to say about the game systems, and I have my problems, the lore, especially people who haven't been exposed to 40K lore, if he does it right, it's going to blow some people's minds. Like these guys are going to be like, I mean, especially people who've never even really saw 40K as a sci-fi universe. Like he does it right, there are going to be people who are just going to be like, what is this insanely awesome thing
Yeah,
that I'm seeing?
spoiler alert, guys. It's really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great setting for for both for gaming, just in general.
Yeah, go and
It's
see our earlier episode where we gush about how much we love the Games Workshop lore.
So yeah, it's gonna be man, we've got, I think for us, it's just it's trying to fit in what we can with unfortunately the rest of our lives. As Boz says, millionaire, billionaire who wants to just have a hobby project, please send us go into your closet, grab a few $1 million and just toss it our way. So, but we're
We'll
gonna have
wait.
fun.
We'll
yeah.
wait.
But until that point, we'll have to kind of maneuver around our
Yeah,
our day jobs.
that's it. So, I think that about wraps it up for this one. We just wanted to come on and say hi and give you all a bit of an idea of what we're going to be doing moving forwards. So, yeah, Dan and Sam, it's great to be doing this both with you again after the couple of months off that we've had, and yeah, I'm looking forward to more.
I'm looking forward to. I'll let Sam close up with the tagline. But
Oh, yeah,
yes,
it says go where the game is good, guys. As always.
peace.
Any war game, anytime. Going where the game is good.